Hello and welcome. You are here with me, Jill Maurer. I am a jewelry designer, and Donnie Grissom.
Hey y'all!
He is an estate jeweler, a fabulous
And
estate
glad to
jeweler.
be back.
Yes, yes.
With Jill, and all of you all are there.
So many of you already know Donnie. So Kylie Abney had a question for Donnie that I am about to ask you. And that is, if you know of a reputable place to buy estate jewelry online. Donnie and I have been chatting about this, and we know of 3 places because we know of the 3 people.
And it's important to develop a relationship with your jeweler. If it's an estate jeweler, or if it's someone that's making contemporary pieces as well.
Right.
But I think developing that rapport with them is important.
Right, because there are 2 things, especially with estate jewelry. There are 2 things. One is that they're knowledgeable, that they know what they're looking at. And the second thing is whether they are honest. Because I have gone to places and I've looked at pieces and I really felt the person was honest and was trying to be honest with me, but just didn't know that much about estate jewelry.
When there are a lot of people that are not gemologists.
Right.
And you don't have to be a gemologist to be in the business, but having a little information in your background. A lot of people that are in the estate business, a lot of them started off in the antique business,
Right.
and then, like I did.
Right.
And then you end up with a case of estate pieces because you're buying from maybe an estate, but you're buying on someone else's knowledge, and you haven't developed your own
Right.
at that point. So, and you know periods, but you don't know if it's how to test it or.
Yeah, and Donnie went on to be a gemologist. Even if you know your design periods, a lot of times people don't know if they're looking at something from that period or created
Right.
later that looks like it's of the period but is not. And these are pretty subtle things.
Right. There's a lot of reproductions of periods out there. For example, I looked at a great collection of what they thought was Victorian pieces. It was when they would set the diamonds in silver over gold. All of that was probably 20 years old from Istanbul. In Turkey, they are fabulous at that, of creating that period. And a lot of rose-cut diamonds and mine-cut diamonds used in them as well. But it wasn't of the period. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't want to buy it and pay for a period piece when it's not.
When it isn't, yeah.
And it so happens, since we were talking about the subject of where to buy estate pieces, her mother bought the pieces in Turkey, thinking they were old.
Yeah.
So,
and sometimes things hit the market and they look old and people even think they're old until too many start coming onto the market.
Right.
And then everybody sort of collectively starts going,
Right.
this is too much of a coincidence. And I had a couple of pieces like that I had thought were older that had come out of Istanbul. It turned out it didn't really matter. They were great pieces for what I
and a
gave
great
them.
and you got a great value.
And I loved the look, and,
Right.
and they were the gems that I thought they were. But it can happen to people. And by the way, I wasn't selling them. I just bought them for me. I wish we had a great idea for you. I can tell you the 3 people that I trust. They are Donnie Grissom, for sure.
Thank you.
And his website is Grissom Collection. Now, what I will say about Donnie, and
I'm not good with technology.
I say this with love, yes.
I'm not good with that.
And my website, all my stuff is new and I'm making it and it could be better. I wear these earrings all the time. I've never put them on the website. I can make this ring in any size you want, and I'm not sure if it works out that way on the website if you realize it. So I have things to fix too. So
My thing for 2020, I'm really going to get an online presence. I'm on Instagram, and I also have a website, but I haven't touched that website in 2 or 3 years.
Let's ask them now too. So what would be more important to you? How would you like to see jewelry? There's website, Instagram, Etsy. Would you want all 3? Is one better than the other so that you can help guide Donnie? Because Donnie, he wasn't up on Instagram for 2 minutes and he was already selling jewelry on Instagram. But this is why.
But the first time I was on Instagram, someone set it up for me. It was under my business name, which was Grissom Collection. I forgot the password. So when I got a new phone, had to switch over, I couldn't get on that. And then trying to change that was impossible. So I just created another one.
Okay, so we'll make sure that down below that all of his contact information is current. I'll make sure that he double checks that. The moral of the story here, the answer really is that the best way to do it is to develop a relationship with somebody personally. And a lot of times you can do this at antique shows where you can see somebody or have some other way to trust them.
And I think you can also develop that online, even if there's a dealer that you meet on Instagram and you don't know that person.
Yeah.
I think not just buying a piece, But calling them and talking about the piece first, and you can build a rapport with them. But also when you're buying estate pieces,
You have
I
to
think
be
you want to
careful with that,
touch,
though, too. Yeah.
but you want to touch the piece.
Well, at least in the beginning. So, like right now, I feel like I have seen enough jewelry with Donnie that if I were to call you and ask you about it, that you could
Right.
describe it to me well enough. And you would be able to develop that with somebody as well. To say, you know, was it as heavy as this piece that I got, or was it similar to this, or the one that you had that I looked at, that kind of
Right.
thing. Before I forget, I want to mention the other two people. One is Lee Dempsey, who is a friend of ours. His website, I think, is R.L. Dempsey Jewelers.
R.L. Dempsey.
R.L. Dempsey Jeweler, or R.L. Dempsey. I'll put that link below. And then also Julie Proctor, Monte Cristos. Lee Dempsey, when I did the spinner ring video, he's the one who let me borrow the spinner ring. Julie has two different sites. One is for fine jewelry, and that's Monte Cristos. She does most of the thing through Etsy. When I did the video on trembler pieces, she is the one who let me borrow those.
Right.
Her other one is called Rhinestone Bird, and that is for costume jewelry. So I'll put the links to all
Beautiful,
of that below.
fun, elaborate pieces that's costume and that's very affordable.
Oh yeah, they're very
A lot of fun.
Yeah. So those are the three that I know and trust, and you're welcome to go to them. Of the three, Julie's the best about keeping things up to date and online.
She works on hers every day.
Yes, and Donnie hopefully will be doing that soon.
2020, not till then.
Yeah. One of the reasons Donnie doesn't as much is that he is traveling so much. Donnie travels to different shows. He has different clients who fly him to them.
Because I'm doing shows, unlike a shop. At a show, you can sell a lot of pieces. At one show, you can do as much as a shop would do in 2 months. And so I don't stay current. My inventory changes so fast.
Much. It would be
that-
harder for him.
Right.
Plus-
Instagram was easy because I could just take the picture
Yeah.
and put it on there and
And
be
then
done.
Instagram might be better. And that way too, you could ask him, do you have anything like this? And then he could take pictures and post what he had. Because he goes to all of these shows, he's developed a clientele. These people know him. Donnie comes to them generally once a year at a show near them. But throughout the year, they will call him and say, you know, it's my birthday. Do you have anything that looks like me? Or maybe a spouse will call and say it's her birthday.
And I make special trips to see them.
Sometimes.
I'll take pieces down for them to look at. And,
Yeah, some of these clients actually send a plane.
Yeah.
You know, some of them are, you know, now it's not that every piece Donnie has is grand.
No.
But
no,
he does have
that's-
some very grand pieces, and he has some collectors who buy in bulk.
They do.
You know,
They'll try on like 7 pair of earrings and say, oh gosh, you know,
Donnie-
let me just get all of them because I don't know what, I can't pick. And that doesn't happen with a lot of people.
no,
I mean, with a lot of my clients.
or
too.
Donnie will go into their closet because they've just bought their, spring collection or their fall collection, and he'll bring
And then
jewelry
we
in.
will pair pieces up for their new clothes.
Some of the things that they already have purchased with him, and then maybe add some new pieces. So if that's not you, that's okay. You can still buy from Donnie.
You sure can.
Donnie also does trunk shows. He'll do trunk shows in, like, there are different dress shops and different clothing shops where if he has several people in an area, or even just one or two, and then the dress shop wants to do it, they'll host. And some art stores. You've been in all different kinds of places.
I can do trunk shows in shops. It can be clothing shop. It could be contemporary clothing shop. And but in antique shops.
He's pretty creative about where he goes, and it's just based on who invites him in and whether it makes sense and whether he can put it on the schedule.
Right.
So Kylie, I know this was sort of a roundabout thing, and I wish we had been able to say, yes, you can buy from this place, and this place. And I'm sure there are some other sites out there. I would do your own research on that and just check their ratings, check their reviews. Estate is very different from new jewelry because you have to look at it and sort out what it really is.
Right. Unless the dealer has their own knowledge.
Right, that's
And
what I'm
they're
saying.
being-
So you need to have a dealer who knows how to
Right.
do that you trust. It's just like with any other antique, any other form of antique. I have also purchased jewelry from antique dealers that I knew what it was and they didn't.
Right.
There was a Kripel piece I did that way, where the person just had no clue, just no clue, and I knew what it was.
And it takes a lot of knowledge as an antique / estate jeweler because you cover so many periods. And a lot of those pieces are custom pieces. Unlike when you go into a contemporary store, a lot of the people in contemporary stores, they order a line, whatever the line is, and it's so their information is given to them right then.
Oh, right.
Weights of the stone, everything,
Yeah.
before they were even put into the ring.
Right, right.
That doesn't happen in a state.
No, it happens. When a store is carrying my stuff, they know all of that and the design inspiration and everything, and it's very easy. It's right there and it's new. But you have to do a lot of research and hunting, and sometimes I've seen different estate jewelers. You get something and it's just like nobody has a clue what it is, and then somebody will know. It's just so broad that you can't know every single thing.
Right.
But the further along you go, the more you see.
Well, you develop an eye for it
Right.
yourself.
So where do you get jewelry? I know that'll be a question.
Well, a lot of mine, since I've been doing it for a long time now, I have a customer base, and they come to me and they bring things to me. They inherit things that it's not their style or they don't want. They think it's for me. So I get a lot that way, but I work with a couple of attorneys that I'm able to purchase through them out of estates. But that's mostly, I think, where my pieces come from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really. Everyone they're assuming that I go out to estate sales and shop. I never do that, and a
You
lot of
wouldn't
people
have that
don't
kind of
put, and people really don't put their jewelry in estate sales. That they
They
usually
might,
often
but
they
it's
hold
not
it,
going to be the kind of jewelry that you have.
and they often will go to a jeweler for that
Right, right.
to sell that to.
Right,
It's
that's
it's
right.
not like there's when they're selling a table. Antique table or something which you will see in an estate sale, but mostly mine come through a couple of attorneys.
And occasionally, some of your clients are getting older, and sometimes they'll sell it to you before they die, because they'll say, my heirs are just not interested in this.
Right.
And I don't trust them to dispose of this, because
Right.
they don't understand what it is. I've heard about a couple of these, and then, they might keep like 3 or 4 pieces that they
Right.
wear all the time and then sell a lot. Because a lot of these people, or maybe they keep even more, some of these people have a lot.
A lot of people will come into me and they will bring pieces that they've inherited and trade for something that I have in my cases that they would wear, not the other pieces. And so that's,
Donnie,
and I actually get a lot of that, come to think of it.
Yeah, he
that
also
way.
gets people who have wonderful jewelry that they're not wearing anymore. As bag collectors, we know this happens sometimes too, where they've collected so much jewelry over time that every once in a while they look and say, okay, I'm gonna weed this out. Like I don't wear this ruby ring anymore because I have this new ruby ring that's my favorite, and every time I wanna wear a ruby, I'm gonna wear this. I might as well sell this one, and it is still fabulous. Trust me, I mean, some of the stuff that I have seen go through Donnie's hands is
Oh, some of it I wish I had back.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I'm in the business of sale, not to keep. But, oh my Lord, it's
And then
just a work of art.
sometimes people have Donnie hunt something down too, especially if they're upgrading a wedding ring or an engagement ring, and they'll know exactly what they want, or they want certain stones. And I've seen some amazing
Oh, I
stuff.
had too.
All right. Well, there you go, Kylie. I hope that answered your question. I know we didn't. Well, we did give you a list of 3 people. With some caveats, this one you're going to get better about putting this stuff up there.
2020, I'm going to be all online.
Okay.
Somebody's got to help me, but I'm going to be all online.
Right? We do need to find some help.
Oh, we
for Donnie.
do.
It's especially hard. It's even harder for him because you've got to remember when he hires somebody to do this, there's an extra level of trust because what they are taking photographs of is jewelry. It's more complicated than just selling something random that isn't as.
And I don't enjoy doing. It's not that it's difficult. I can't get online and put a picture. There's something about not being creative when you're doing that with something on a computer, and it just seems boring and a waste of time. And I know it isn't. It's how you make a living.
It is creative for some people, and
Right,
so what
it
you
is.
need to find
It
is
is.
somebody
The person
for
that
whom
feels that
their
way.
thing.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. It's just not your thing. So
No, it isn't.
I'm kind of the same way, but not exactly. I just have so much to do, and with all doing a
Right.
video a day, whew, I'm ready.
You're good at delegating.
I need to get even better. This year of doing a video every single day has gotten in the way of a lot of things for me. It has taken up a lot of time.
It has
Hopefully-
not taken up a lot of my time.
Hopefully 2020 we will both get better about our online presence.
We are.
All right.
And you
great.
want to help me?
And yes.
Yes.
I will certainly try. It would help if you would move here. That would be great.
I'll do it.
Okay, that sounds good. You heard it
I really
here.
am going to.
Hopefully, yeah. Okay.
2 weeks.
Seriously?
No, I just keep saying that. I've been saying that since June. 2 more weeks.
There you have it, Kylie. There is the answer to your question. If you have a jewelry question for me or for Donnie, just let me know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so.
Bye for now.